Hi, I'm Kim Kovalski. I lead the wealth practice at MarshBerry. We are here with Mike LaMena at the MarshBerry's inaugural wealth conference. Thank you for being here, Mike.
Yeah, really excited to be here. It's been great.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you next to me because I want to ask you a number of questions. First, in introducing you, you are one of the most respected and admired CEOs.
I appreciate that.
Which is why I'm having you here sitting with me. Wealthspire today has $80 billion in AUM and another $500 billion in AUA. You've undergone a lot of changes here.
Yeah, it's been crazy, dynamic. It's exciting.
Right, having new capital from Madison Dearborn and coming out of NFP and Aon. So you have interesting perspectives to share. You've also spent over 30 years in the wealth industry and likely have seen many different things change.
Yeah, it seems like I've just started and 30 years went by pretty fast.
Yeah, you still look pretty young to me. From your vantage point, what do you think are some of the things that people most misunderstand about the RIA marketplace?
Yeah, I would say recently there's so much focus, and it's funny because I'm talking to somebody in investment banking, but so much focus on M&A. And from my perspective, like M&A is incredibly important, but what the misconception is, that's not the end game. Like it's what M&A is enabling firms to do. It's not just scale for the sake of scale. It's how do you use M&A to aggregate talent, to build organizations so that you can mature the offering for end clients, create professional development opportunities for your people. That really is the end game. Everybody focuses on the number of deals and the total AUM that's moving between firms and the size. But I look back at the industry, and you said I've been in it 30 years. When I first moved to the independent side 15 years ago, the paradigm was that if you went independent, you could be a true fiduciary, you could sit at the same side of the table as your client, exercise that fiduciary commitment, but you were going to sacrifice access to the best capabilities, resources, investment solutions, technology platforms. And what I've seen over the last 15 years has been massive change. The offering we're able to deliver on the independent side is as robust, if not more so, than any other channel, and you have the benefit of being a true fiduciary. So from my perspective, what's misunderstood is that the independent RIA channel is by far the optimal channel for advisors who want to be fiduciaries and serve their clients in that capacity to do what they do best, which is go super deep, understand clients' hopes, dreams, fears, what matters most to them, and then use all of the capabilities to deliver for those clients. And M&A has been a huge lever for us to create the scale, to invest in the capabilities and the talent and the resources to be able to do that. So I go to sleep every night feeling like we're in the best area of the industry. We can have huge impact on the lives of the clients we work with. And it's a function of how the industry has evolved and matured.
Yeah, as I hear you talk, I'm thinking about the advisors who the reasons that they got into the business were because they wanted to take care of their clients.
Absolutely.
And over the years, as their businesses are progressing, they move further and further away from that. And so really, as you're talking about M&A and the things that you're doing, you're allowing them to be able to do the things that they love again.
We talk all the time with advisors around the people that are contemplating transactions. What do you want to achieve, not just in a transaction, but beyond the transaction? Through the transaction. And oftentimes, it's exactly what you described. An advisor got into this business because they love working with clients, and then they become a victim of their own success. They're spending more time focused on running the business than they are actually working with clients. And when they intersect with some of the larger scaled firms, there's an ability to tap into that infrastructure, the capability set, and actually get back to their highest and best use, the thing that gives them most joy. So what I love about MarshBerry, your team, you have those conversations with individuals. It's not just about how do we maximize the outcome of an economic liquidity event through a transaction. It's about what do you really want to achieve? And for a number of principles, it is taking off all the peripheral hats and getting back to what gives them joy, which is working with clients. And when they can do that and tap into a broader set of capabilities, it's a win-win for the client. They're getting a more robust, complete, comprehensive solution than they ever have before. It's a win for the talent because people are able to figure out what's highest and best use, right? Within a scaled organization, you have somebody who's passionate about compliance. Let them run compliance, not ask an advisor to moonlight as the head of compliance because they need to do that. So
yeah, and I think too about what you're building, and Those that can't build in that same way, they just don't have the same level, they don't have the same access to capital, they don't have the same level of expertise. And we guide people to understand that there is a world is changing very, very quickly, and you're having the haves and the have-nots, right? These people have access to these things, and when you talk about having access to bring in talent, I think that's the most critical component of what the larger, more scaled firms can do today, which is attract strong talent to their platforms.
I mean, that's why we do M&A. It's talent acquisition. Right? And then what I love is looking back and seeing that by bringing talent together, you're opening up incremental career opportunities for people. I think about our chief marketing officer. She was a marketing team of one working for a $2.7 billion RIA, servicing 45 people and a dozen advisors. Now she runs a team of 20 people. She's doing amazing things.
We love Angela.
See, I've told this story. Angela's phenomenal. But she got a bigger platform, and she got an organization that was able to put resources behind her. Now, what she's done with that is all her, but it was the circumstances of a scaling organization intersecting with a talented individual that had tremendous potential where the magic really happened. Yeah. So I get really excited about those individual stories. And when you're thinking about a business owner evaluating what do they want in the next chapter, like they've never had a broader, more diverse set of options, right? They have resources that can provide a minority capital. They have the ability to join a strategic acquirer that has scale and has resources and talent. And I think the great work you do is helping them figure out, like, what do they want that next chapter to be for them, for their people, for their clients. And the deeper you delve into that and explore those questions, the better positioned you are to optimize the outcome through a transaction.
Right. That
or
is,
not.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that is exactly what we need to do. Is we have to understand what we think they're really good at, where they have holes, what they want to do, what they don't want to do. Because it's not, there are a lot of solutions out there, but they're not always the right solutions for them. So.
Yeah, and with the diversity options, they really need a coach to help them push and really figure out, like, what do you want to achieve in that next chapter?
And that's
What's
not even speaking to the culture of, and that's a big piece of it too, of our understanding of who they are and who you are and who the other buyers are. That also is a critical component of the work that we do in trying to understand who is going to make the best home for us.
It's the business fit, it's the cultural fit, and it's the alignment, right? If someone's run their own business for decades and they're going to join a bigger firm, they have to be prepared to give up some autonomy in exchange for leverage, capability, resources, and maybe a more focused role. But like, I love working with you and your team because we have those conversations collaboratively, individually, to really delve into, like, what does somebody actually truly want to achieve? Yes. And are they going to realize that? And to be provocative in some of the questions we ask, because sometimes the initial answer is the safe answer that people want to hear. And you got to really dig a little bit deeper to say, are you truly ready to not be the answer person on everything? You've never worked for somebody. Are you ready to do that?
Yeah, that is so true. And I think too, the way we define success is obviously economics play an important role. It's always important. It's table stakes. You know that, we know that. But finding that right fit and having a conversation with our clients 2 or 3 years out, and they're really happy where they are, that for us is what we're driving for.
Absolutely.
Right? That is success for us.
Yeah, the North Star questions I always come back to when you contemplate a business combination is there going to be incremental value proposition for the end client? And what does that look like? Is it incremental capabilities? Is it deeper resources? Is it access to something they haven't historically had? And then it also has to be good for the talent involved, especially in a business that's all about talent. Our resources go up and down the elevator, in and out the front door every single day. So you have to have expanded career paths. And for, like we said, for some people, it's taking off all the peripheral stuff and focusing on highest and best use. For somebody, it's a bigger stage. For somebody, it's access to resources and capabilities that allow them to accomplish more. And ultimately, those conversations become individualized, right? You look at an organization and what the CEO may want and what the chief investment officer and the advisor down the hall, like, you have to consider all those. And it's no short task for an owner to ultimately do what's in the best interest of their clients, their people, and them individually. And you helping them through that process, I think, is hugely valuable to make sure they choose the right option and don't have seller's remorse and end up with the right cultural and business fit.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Mike. We're
Yeah,
so glad
absolutely.
to have you here. Thank you.
Absolutely.